Again, for everybody tuning in, this is Black Westchester's pre-election special edition, special time. We're going to get right into it. Our first guest is Judge Nancy Quinn Koba. She's running for Supreme Court, 9th Judicial District, Westchester, Rockland, Putnam, Dutchess, and Orange County. And we want to welcome her to the show. There we go.
May I add that Judge Koba is currently a town justice in Ossining?
Yes.
Yes.
And my partner, Damon K. Jones, cannot be here today, but his organization, Blacks in Law Enforcement, has endorsed Judge Koba.
Awesome.
Yes,
and
yes,
my
yes.
brother's organization, Westchester Hispanic Law Enforcement, also endorsed Judge Koba.
And one of our sponsors gave Cupcake Cutie, which is Damon's wife and daughter. They've given us some cupcakes. There's strawberry shortcake cupcakes for all of the candidates.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes, so and a business card for you. Shout to Monique James, Selby Hilton Cooper, and Peter Plotty, and Caitlin Gleason said, "Hey, Lorraine."
Hey, Caitlin. What's up, Mama?
So I know that it is the challenge with interviewing judicial candidates is there's a lot of things you can't talk about.
That's true.
So let's just start with who is Nancy Quinn Koba, the person, not the candidate, the person. Pull your mic up close to you, and if you do social media, you can sign into your social media and all that good stuff.
If I signed in, I would probably bring down the whole system. I'm not that good at social media yet.
Okay.
My name's Nancy Koba. I grew up in Brockton, Massachusetts, one of a family of four. I came to New York to attend Manhattanville College, and I never left. So I've been here my entire adult life.
Okay.
I'm married. I'm
my
looking
God.
at this lovely, delicious strawberry shortcake cupcake.
Okay.
She just put in
We
front
just
of
had
me.
an accident.
Oh, okay.
I
I
have
gotta get another one.
I'm married with 2 children. I've lived in Ossining for the past 21 years.
Okay.
And I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I'm just thankful that you have the opportunity to come here and meet with you and speak with the people.
Now, I try to educate people as much as possible. Ossining, there's the village of Ossining, and then there's the town of Ossining, or the city of Ossining.
There's the village of Ossining, the town outside, and the village of Briarcliff.
Okay.
Right now, they only have one court because in 2012 they consolidated the village court into the town court, and I was
Okay.
part of that consolidation.
Okay.
Which was really great because we had the opportunity to make the kind of court that we thought would be the best. I've been practicing for 33 years throughout the state of New York, so I saw things that I liked. I saw things that I didn't think were terrific. So when we consolidated the court, we had an opportunity to create the kind of court that we thought was in the best interest of the people. We have an excellent staff. They're very people-oriented and understand the court is here to serve the people.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a few friends of the show from Ossining. Quintel Bays. Quantel,
Sure.
I mess his name up all the time. And Omar Herrera.
Herrera.
Yes. Both
He's
have
been here.
Both have been here. Both friends of the show.
I saw Quantel this morning at Star of Bethlehem Church.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So, why now? You're currently the town justice. Town of Ossining. Town justice of Ossining.
Correct.
What made you want to make the leap to Supreme Court? And first, before we do that, explain to the people what the Supreme Court, like, because it's the Supreme Court, people don't know the difference between the Supreme Court and the county court. What's
the difference?
Yes, what's the difference? What does the Supreme Court of Westchester, the Westchester County Supreme Court, right?
Right. The first of all, the Supreme Court positions we're running for are called the 9th Judicial District, and it includes 5 counties. So this seat we're running for encompasses Westchester, Rockland, Orange, Putnam, and Dutchess counties.
Okay.
The Supreme Court is considered your general jurisdiction trial court, so that does all of civil matters. So that would include people's divorces, contracts, real estate issues, environmental issues. If you have a slip and fall on the sidewalk or injured and you bring a lawsuit, it would be in the Supreme Court. Your county court in Westchester deals with criminal matters.
Criminal matters, okay.
And your family court, of course, deals with family and children.
Okay.
So we are the court of general jurisdiction. The other ones are considered specialty courts.
Right.
That's why I'm very happy to have this opportunity, because part of my campaign has been Judges Matter. People don't think a lot about judges because we're not in the political process.
Right.
Until you happen to be before a judge.
Most people have never seen or come in contact with a judge, unfortunately, until I'm in your court, or I'm with somebody else who's in your court, or something along those lines.
Yeah, AJ and Damon are very big on the importance of knowing who the judges are, who to vote for, and who's running for office when it comes to judges.
Well, especially with the county court. In the black and brown communities, a lot that has a lot to do with how our criminal justice is ruled on. You know what I'm saying? Like there's in the 10-year, is Supreme 10 years too? Is that?
No, Supreme is 14 years. So I say,
wow.
I know.
Okay.
I say when I was where we're doing our campaign speeches, think about how many people you've known for 14 years that are still in your life.
Right.
I mean, it's a long time, and you only get a shot to vote for us once until that term is up. So it's very, very critical, and I agree with you, to evaluate the credentials of the candidates. A lot of times today you can find us on websites and Facebooks where you can get some additional information about the candidates. And, what kind of a candidate, what kind of a judge do you want? I mean, you want a judge that's, what I try to be is open-minded, certainly attentive, unbiased, and carefully consider all of the cases that come before me. And people don't realize this is a private dispute. It impacts them when they come before the court. Not at general, but it's you. It's your family. It's your life. So, yes, it's very important. Judges matter. We need people to come out to vote for the judges.
How many positions are open for Supreme Court justice, and how many people are running?
There are 4 open Supreme Court seats and 5 people running.
Oh, wow.
So the top 4 vote getters will be the next Supreme Court judges.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Now, you are running on the Democratic line, and also the Sam. Is it Sam?
Sam, yes.
Okay. Now, just briefly, and I've been
AJ
asking everybody.
Sam.
Well, I'm actually trying to reach out to somebody from a chairman or something to actually have them come on the show so they can educate people on what this new line is, because even though I think they endorsed last year in the governor's race, people are just hearing about them now. People are like, what is Sam? So why Sam? Like, what can you tell us about Sam real quick?
It's a new party. It's called Serve America Movement. Their basic philosophy appears to be, let's stop the gridlock and work together across party lines. They have 481 candidates they've endorsed this year.
Wow.
They have a website, and I'm sure we can get the name of a person who you could contact. I know the chairman in Westchester County is John Verney, and that's who I interviewed with, but they do have a push, and they are very aggressive. They've done press releases on their candidates, and they're very active in promoting their candidates.
Yeah, and they're statewide?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely I think the two-party system has a stranglehold on the system. I think we need to have more choices, more third-party, the independents, whatever, conservative work. And so I'm always glad to know about a new party, find out about them, educate the people on why, who this new party is. Seems like they're picking up a lot of steam, so I definitely want to educate people about them. Shout out to Michael Garrett, Patricia DeLuca, Adam, I can't pronounce your last name. He was on the show. Taylon Murphy, Gwendolyn Nix James, Jen Elkers.
Hey, Jen.
I hope I pronounced your name right. I'm
Love
sorry.
You, girl.
Glenn Ford and Elias Goodsight. Ray Copeland, Uncle Ray. Moni James said happy anniversary to Cupcake Cutie. They just celebrated their 4th anniversary. Shelby Hilton Cooper, I think I mentioned her. So, there's 4 people running for 5 seats, but why are you one of the candidates that we need to vote for?
Okay, I have been a town judge in town of Ossining for 10 years, as I indicated. I have 33 years experience practicing in the Supreme Court. I've also practiced in the federal courts and the 4 appellate divisions of the state of New York. I agree, when I was first appointed judge in Ossining, I agreed to stay through the consolidation and help create a very good combined consolidated court. I feel we've done that, and I'm ready to move on to return to full-time public service. If you want a judge that's fair and unbiased, hardworking, and listens to you, then I'm that candidate. I dedicate myself. I tell people I've practiced throughout the state of New York, and I've been in courts in upstate New York where I was referred to as the downstate attorney. So that made me think that perhaps my client wasn't starting out equally with the local individual.
Yeah.
So I've worked very hard to make sure the people that come into my court know that they're starting out equal. They're starting out equally with the other person,
Right.
and that their dispute will be heard fairly to the best of my ability based upon the law and the facts. So if you want a judge that works hard, listens, treats you fairly and impartially, and understands that the decision she's making impacts your life, and understands that it has to be carefully considered and balanced when you issue a decision, then I'm that candidate.
Now, another reason for, like, this year we've had more judicial candidates than ever before. I mean, in the 5 years that we've been doing this, there's distrust in the black and brown community when it comes to judges and the whole legal system. So, that's another reason why I want them, to kind of get to know you, a little bit better, who some of y'all are, and I'm glad to do this. Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want people to know about you? I'm trying not to ask you questions that you can't answer. That's because you can't make, you can't deal with certain things. And
right, we can't deal with issues.
I'm moving. I'm making it up as I go along, kind of, because I can't.
No, because you can't. But the most important thing is to understand and press home the point that judges matter. We have a significant direct impact on people's lives. And the court is there to serve the people. It's not about the judge. It's not about who's wearing the robe. It's about the people entrusting you to decide their dispute, because we are a country of laws. And part of that agreement is that the judge will be fair, unbiased, independent, and decide your case on the facts without any prejudgment. And so you want judges that strive to meet that ideal, because that's what our system is about.
You said that you worked prior with Supreme Court, in what capacity?
I've been a civil litigation and trial attorney in the Supreme Court, so I've tried cases. I could hit the ground running. I've tried cases from inception through trial and the appellate level.
Okay.
So I'm very experienced in that court with most of the issues that you would address in that court. There are some areas that I haven't practiced in, which is matrimonial, which is, of course, I would learn that.
Yeah.
When I became a town judge in Ossining, I hadn't done any criminal work, but I made sure I educated myself on the laws in that area so that I could adjudicate things appropriately and fairly.
Now, this is going to sound like, well, my mother always told me, God rest her soul, there's no stupid questions. Only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask. So you cover a territory of Westchester, Rockland, Putnam, Dutchess, and Orange. I know there is a Supreme Court building in White Plains. Is there buildings in each of those counties, and you have to move to each of those counties to cover cases, or does everyone come to the White Plains building? Or
No, there are. I've practiced in all of those jurisdictions. Each of those jurisdictions has a Supreme Court within the boundaries of the county. What happens typically is the administrative judge, which is Kathy Davidson, will assign a judge to a particular court.
Okay.
So I could be assigned to Westchester Supreme, I could be assigned to Rockland, Orange, Putnam, or Dutchess Supreme.
Okay.
But they all have their own courthouses.
Okay, and you could be in Westchester for a couple of years and then be in Rockland for a couple of years.
Correct.
Just so.
Wherever they need you, because they can move us around to wherever the administrative judge sees a need, she can put a judge there.
Now, see, that's something I didn't know. That's something I just learned. Go ahead. That's Lorraine's.
No, did you worked with Mike Edelman as a trial attorney?
No, Wilson, Elsa, Moskowitz, and Edelman. It's not Mike Edelman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you was a trustee too?
I was my very first foray into politics was as a trustee in the village of Irvington.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Yeah, I was a lot younger back then.
Really?
But yes,
So what does a trustee do? What is it?
that's the legislative component of the village board.
It's kind of like a city council.
right.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. They call them trustees.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's
That's
the
right.
component.
Austin is Quintel. He's a
A trustee.
town trustee.
Yeah, yeah.
And
He's
I
on
couldn't
the
think
village
of
board.
the
Yeah.
he's the village. Yeah, but it's village trustee, not village council.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like city council. And I couldn't think of that the other day when I named him 2 weeks ago, and I couldn't think of what they called them. It's trustees. Okay, there you go. There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
So I served on there for 2 years, and I did not run for re-election.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know you can't speak on issues. What maybe do you feel is missing that you will bring to the Supreme Court? That I don't know if I'm getting to an area where you can't go to. That you would bring that you feel like the court can surely use.
Well, I as I indicated, I've been in front of judges throughout the state of New York, and I would be a judge who is experienced. I am a trial attorney, so I understand the pressures that are faced by people when they're litigators and trying to balance a caseload. I understand being involved in the process and representing a party and understanding the anxiety and the emotional toll and the factual tolls it is to people to be involved in litigation. It's very difficult to be involved in litigation, whatever side you're on of that. It's stressful. It's impacting the litigant personally, so I have an understanding of that. One of the other things that I would note that, obviously, I'm a woman, and in the 9th Judicial District, there are currently 29 elected Supreme Court judges. Of those, 12 of them are women. So I think also having more women on the bench would be beneficial to people, just because you come from a different perspective. We have to apply the law to the facts, but the lens through which you're looking at that is based upon your own experiences.
Now, do we have any African American or Latinos on the board, on the Supreme Court yet?
Yes, in Westchester County that we do. We have Kathy Davidson and Janet Malone.
Okay.
Yes, and we have some on the Supreme. But of the 4 positions this time, 2 of them are women that are getting to retirement age. So those vacancies, if they're not filled by women, will again result in fewer female judges on the bench. And I just think a diverse bench is beneficial to everybody.
No, I agree. I think our government, our courts need to reflect our communities that they serve, and that's not always the case. I think it's a lot better than it used to be, but
Yes.
I still think we have a long way to go. There's a lot of racism and sexism still in this country, and I'm glad when we chip away at that a little more each time. So I wish you the best, and yes, I do agree that we definitely need more women, and I'm always going to push for more people of color. That's we definitely need it. Lorraine, do you have any questions, real quick?
No, I just want to make a statement that Judge Koba campaign is doing an excellent job. Her name is out there. Her signs are out there. People are talking. People are interested. I think a lot of people are very excited about her running. And I think she's going to get a lot of support. I think she's going to make it. Yeah.
I do too. Again, is there any questions I didn't ask you that you want people to know? You know what? I have a funny question.
Sure.
It has nothing
The three.
Well, no, not that. This is a totally different question.
Man.
I'm going to do that too. This is a different question.
Okay.
I watch too much TV.
Okay.
So, you always see the judges, and, they really have shorts on, and they don't really, they don't have no suit on. They got their robe on. Do judges do that? Do really do that? I mean, is that just comedy, or do judges?
I haven't, so I really can't speak to anybody else. I'm always assuming they're clothed under the robe, but
because
I don't
they'll have a shorts and a t-shirt on,
Yeah.
and they'll have the robe on, and you might think,
You know what?
you assume there's a suit under there, but not necessarily.
You know what? Speaking of clothes, it doesn't bother you that when you have people coming in front of you that they're not dressed appropriately due to their circumstances and stuff like that. Like sometimes they get arrested in their pajamas and stuff. But I know I've heard judges say, "Don't come into my courtroom looking like that. You dress appropriately."
My more greater concern is when somebody comes into the court is that they respect the court, which is, to be appropriately behaved as opposed to what they're wearing.
Okay, that's a great answer.
So mine's more is if you start yelling and screaming, that's
Yeah,
not tolerable
there's
in
an
the
issue,
court.
yeah,
This is a court.
Yeah.
But that's really what my concern is. I don't notice most of the time. what
Okay.
people-
My last two questions, since there's limited questions that I can ask, really have nothing to do with the election, but I just asked them to break up the monotony. If your house is on fire, you can only grab 3 things. What would they be?
My kids, my cat, and my purse.
Okay. And if you were a superhero, who would you be?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I never thought about that. Wonder Woman. I guess Wonder Woman.
I
Yeah.
heard her say that. Yeah.
I don't think it's superheroes. So it's like,
She's
I
a
feel-
superhero
I feel
already.
I feel like Wonder Woman, having been a working mother. So
Yes.
Yeah, she's already a
all
superhero.
those working mothers, I shout out to you.
Social media, website, how people get in touch with you if they want to know more about you.
Yes, I have a website, www.judgenancykoba.com, and I'm on Facebook, Judge Nancy Koba.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming in. We have a wealth of people coming in. I think we have 4 judges and a mayoral
We got
candidate.
5
and
judges.
5 judges and
Wow.
a mayoral candidate, and
You have a full slate.
yes,
Yeah.
because we usually do 6 to 8. We did the
Wow.
special
Election
pre-election.
edition.
Since this is the last day of before the election, to try to get as many candidates as we can. There's very few. There's very little that you can learn about somebody in a half an hour, though. But
No, but you can, at least people have a chance to hear them, speak with them, ask a question if they want, and more importantly, we get to talk about how important judges are
right.
to them
Yeah.
and why they should come out and vote for the
Right.
judges.
Yeah.
Right. 14 years. That's another thing I learned.
That's
I
a
did not
long
know.
time.
I knew 10 years was a long time, but wow, 14 years.
Right.
So Supremes get 14 years.
So
Yeah.
come out and vote, everybody.
So yes.
Yes, November 5th. I'm certainly going to be there, and I'm certainly going to vote for you, Judge Koba.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, I guess I did early voting, and well, I guess I can say I voted for you. I guess
Thank you.
I can tell you I voted the first day of
Very nice.
early voting.
That's awesome. My
Yeah.
son came home from University of Buffalo to vote for me.
Okay.
So
Aw.
that was so I went with him. That was
That's precious.
the first time he voted. So it's
Oh,
that's-
my God! The
the
first
first
time
time
he
you
voted,
vote-
he
yeah.
voted for
vote
his
for
mom.
I know.
That-
Oh
yeah.
God, that's beautiful.
That is nice.
It was
That is
great.
That's
nice.
history for the family right there.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
One last time, anything you want to say, anything you want that I didn't ask you, anything you want people to know, any message you want to give out, anything.
I think my message is clear. Vote, vote, vote. Your vote is your voice. Judges matter. Take a look at their qualifications and their temperament and think, does this the type of person, the personality I want deciding my case?
Absolutely. Sometime tonight I will, I'll break up all the videos, so it's just the individual interviews, and I will send your video
Thank
of
you.
just your interview, so y'all can do what y'all
Awesome.
want to do with
Thank
it.
you so much.
Not a
And I have
problem.
to say before I go, look at this cupcake, huh?
And did she give you a business card?
It looks
Did she give-
delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
do
that's
have one.
that's our sponsor for the special edition, Cupcake Cutie. So we have one
It
for
looks
each
awesome.
of the
Thank
candidates.
you.
Yes, absolutely. So we thank
All
you
right.
for coming. Want to give you a round of applause. Want to wish you well.
Thank you.
Yes. Maybe you can't come back on when you're a judge. I would invite you back.